Most car enthusiasts think they can appreciate any classic for its historical significance. But what if I told you that most modern cars will leave you completely disconnected from the driving experience? Cars that look incredible in dealerships, but quickly turn into numb, over-engineered appliances on the road. In this video, we've got the 12 most brilliant Japanese cars from the 1970s, ranked from bottom to top based on pure engineering philosophy and driving purity. And trust me, some of these choices might shock you. From steering that tells you nothing about the road to engines buried under layers of complexity, most modern cars are riddled with problems that'll destroy your connection to driving. And here's the kicker. The number one car on this list is so perfectly engineered that a government study proved its safety critics completely wrong decades later. Stick with me to the end, because this isn't just automotive history. It's proof that the best engineering solutions are often the simplest ones. Miss this, and you'll keep believing that newer automatically means better. Number 12. Plymouth Fire Aero, 1978. Starting our countdown at number 12 is a car that perfectly captures the irony of the late 70s automotive landscape. The Plymouth Fire Aero wasn't actually built by Plymouth at all. This was a rebadged Mitsubishi Lancer Celeste, manufactured in Japan and sold under an American nameplate. Think about what this represents in the broader context of automotive history. By 1978, Japanese engineering had become so respected and trusted that American brands were willing to badge Japanese cars as their own products. This wasn't just happening at dealerships with traditional imports competing against domestic vehicles. This was corporate collaboration at the highest levels, with American executives admitting their own engineering couldn't match what Japan was producing. The Fire Aero symbolizes a seismic shift in global automotive power dynamics. American manufacturers, who had dominated the industry since its inception, were now depending on Japanese engineering excellence to fill critical gaps in their own product lineups. The very companies that had dismissed Japanese cars as econo boxes just a decade earlier were now secretly relying on them. The Fire Aero itself was a competent small coupe, but its real significance lies in what it represented rather than what it delivered. It was proof that the Japanese automotive invasion wasn't just about selling cars to American consumers. It was about American manufacturers acknowledging Japanese superiority. Number 11. Toyota Celica Supra, 1978 to 1979. The original Celica Supra represents Toyota's first serious attempt at building a grand touring car, and remarkably, they executed this vision flawlessly on their initial try. Unlike modern Supras that prioritize track performance, social media appeal, and technological showcases, the original was designed with one clear mission: comfortable, long-distance driving. To accommodate the larger 2.6-liter inline-six engine, Toyota's engineers extended the successful Celica's wheelbase and front end. This wasn't about creating the ultimate track weapon or impressing automotive journalists with lap times. This was about building a sophisticated touring machine that could consume highway miles in refined comfort while still delivering genuine performance when called upon. The first Supra pioneered electronic fuel injection technology for Toyota, representing a major advancement in both reliability and fuel efficiency. This wasn't technology for technology's sake, but a practical solution to real-world driving demands. The electronically controlled fuel delivery system provided more precise metering than mechanical carburetors, resulting in better cold start behavior, improved emissions, and more consistent performance across varying conditions. The original Supra proves that when engineers are given a specific brief and trusted to execute it without interference from marketing departments and focus groups, they can create something genuinely special on their first attempt. Number 10. Subaru Leone, 1971 to 1979. The Subaru Leone established everything that would define the brand's identity for the next 50 years, and it did so by pioneering a technology that no one else thought was necessary. This compact car introduced mass-produced all-wheel drive to passenger vehicles in 1972, literally creating an entirely new automotive category. The Leone featured Subaru's unique horizontally opposed boxer engine configuration paired with their innovative all-wheel drive system. This wasn't marketing gimmickry or an attempt to differentiate for differentiation's sake. The Boxer engine's low center of gravity and inherently balanced design provided real benefits in handling and smoothness, while the all-wheel drive system delivered genuine advantages in traction and stability that front-wheel drive and rear-wheel drive competitors simply couldn't match. What makes the Leone's approach brilliant is its pioneering spirit in an era when most manufacturers were focused on following established formulas. Subaru didn't conduct extensive market research to determine if consumers wanted all-wheel drive. They didn't test the concept with focus groups. They identified a real-world driving advantage and engineered a solution to deliver it. The Leone proves that genuine innovation comes from identifying real problems and creating elegant solutions, not from adding complexity to justify higher prices or create marketing talking points. Number 9. Datsun 620 Truck, 1972 to 1979. The Datsun 620 single-handedly established the entire American mini-truck scene and accomplished this feat through brilliant, cost-effective engineering that modern manufacturers have completely abandoned. This wasn't just basic transportation with a truck bed. It was a thoughtfully designed vehicle equally capable of serious work and recreational use. Datsun's engineering philosophy demonstrates exactly why modern vehicles have become overbuilt, overpriced, and overcomplicated. Because Japanese manufacturers didn't have unlimited development budgets like their American counterparts, engineers were forced to reuse proven, successful components across different model lines. The 620 shared the reliable L-Series engine with the acclaimed Datsun 510 sedan, creating a parts commonality that benefited both reliability and service accessibility. This cross-platform efficiency meant that 620 owners could find engine parts at any Datsun dealer, shared service knowledge with 510 owners, and benefited from the extensive development work that had already proven the L-Series engine's durability. Modern manufacturers create bespoke platforms for every model, resulting in higher development costs, more complex parts logistics, and expensive service procedures that ultimately get passed on to consumers. Number 8. Honda Accord, 1976 to 1979. The original Honda Accord took the fundamental platform and engineering philosophy of the successful Civic and elevated it to establish a completely new standard of compact car excellence. The initial 1976 three-door hatchback showed promise, but it was the 1978 four-door sedan that truly conquered the American market and redefined what consumers could expect from an affordable family car. Automotive critics and consumers alike praised the Accord's exceptional styling, mechanical excellence, remarkable reliability, and incredible value proposition. The Accord definitively proved that sensible, practical family cars didn't have to sacrifice visual appeal, driving engagement, or build quality to achieve affordability. It offered genuinely enjoyable driving dynamics paired with the kind of dependability that was rare in any price range during that era. The Accord's success represents everything that's been lost in modern automotive development. The original was sized appropriately for its mission, built efficiently without unnecessary complexity, and focused relentlessly on delivering a rewarding driving experience rather than impressive specification sheets. Every design decision served multiple purposes. The packaging was space-efficient, the engines were smooth and economical, the suspension provided both comfort and handling competence. Number 7. Honda Civic, 1972 to 1979. The Honda Civic arrived perfectly timed to capitalize on the dramatic shift in American automotive priorities, triggered by the 1973 oil crisis. This compact car offered a masterclass in packaging efficiency, with its revolutionary transverse engine and front-wheel drive layout maximizing interior space, while keeping the exterior footprint appropriately small for urban driving and parking. But the Civic's most significant and lasting innovation was its compound vortex-controlled combustion engine, introduced in 1975. This ingenious design represented the kind of elegant problem-solving that defined 70s Japanese engineering philosophy and stands in stark contrast to modern automotive approaches. The CVCC engine used a sophisticated dual-chamber combustion system. A small pre-chamber received a rich air-fuel mixture that ignited easily and consistently. This initial combustion then triggered ignition of a much leaner mixture in the main combustion chamber, resulting in cleaner, more efficient burning that produced significantly reduced emissions without sacrificing performance or reliability. If you're appreciating this examination of pure engineering philosophy over modern complexity, make sure to hit that subscribe button. We're about to explore some truly revolutionary vehicles that fundamentally change automotive history through brilliant simplicity rather than technological showboating. Number 6, Toyota Corolla, 1970 to 1979. By the end of 1970, the Toyota Corolla had achieved the remarkable distinction of becoming the second best-selling car in the entire world. Most automotive enthusiasts and historians dismiss it as merely a simple appliance, reliable, efficient, but fundamentally boring transportation. This perspective completely misses the Corolla's most remarkable characteristic and one of the most important lessons in automotive engineering philosophy. The 70s, Corolla possessed a surprising and genuinely impressive racing heritage that perfectly demonstrates the versatility possible when engineers focus on fundamental excellence rather than specialized applications. The same basic platform that served millions of families as dependable daily transportation could also compete at the highest levels of international motorsport and win world championship events. Toyota equipped select Corollas with the high-performance twin-cam engine from the Celica sports car to create the famous Corolla 11 variant. This wasn't just a marketing exercise or a limited production specialty model. It was proof that excellent fundamental engineering could serve radically different purposes without requiring completely separate platforms. The racing results speak for themselves. A Corolla won the grueling 1973 Presson Regardless Rally in the United States, considered one of the most demanding motorsport events in North America. The same model went on to win the 1975 1000 Lakes Rally in Finland, securing Toyota Team Europe's first continental victory and establishing Japanese manufacturers as serious competitors in World Rally competition. Number 5, Toyota Celica, 1971 to 1977. The Toyota Celica was Toyota's direct and unashamed response to the American pony car phenomenon, specifically targeting the Ford Mustang's enormous success. The liftback model styling was an obvious homage to the Mustang Fastback's iconic profile, but Toyota's engineering execution was superior to its American inspiration in virtually every measurable way. While the popular Ford Mustang continued to rely on the archaic, leaf-sprung rear suspension system that had been used in American cars for decades, the early Celica came standard with a much more sophisticated coil-sprung independent rear suspension. This fundamental difference in suspension design provided the Celica with superior handling characteristics, better ride quality, and more predictable behavior at the limits of adhesion. The engineering advantages extended far beyond suspension design. The Celica offered better build quality, more consistent assembly tolerances, superior corrosion resistance, and significantly better long-term reliability than comparable American pony cars. These weren't minor improvements. They were fundamental differences in engineering philosophy and manufacturing precision. The Celica's remarkable adaptability allowed Toyota to navigate the volatile and rapidly changing automotive market of the 70s without requiring expensive platform redesigns. Engine displacement grew from 1.9 liters in 1971 to 2.2 liters by 1975, allowing Toyota to meet changing performance expectations and emissions requirements by scaling existing technology rather than developing entirely new powertrains. Number 4, Datsun 510, 1968 to 1973. The Datsun 510, universally known among enthusiasts as the poor man's BMW, was ostensibly an economy car designed for budget-conscious consumers. But beneath its modest appearance and affordable price lay the heart and soul of a genuine track weapon capable of embarrassing much more expensive and supposedly superior competition. The 510's design philosophy was deliberately inspired by successful European sedans, particularly the highly regarded 1966 BMW 1602. Datsun engineers studied the BMW's sophisticated combination of single overhead cam engine technology and four-wheel independent suspension, then developed their own interpretation that could be manufactured and sold at a fraction of the German car's cost. The result was praised by automotive journalists and enthusiasts as a genuinely great driver's car that delivered BMW-like handling characteristics and engagement at prices that ordinary consumers could actually afford. This wasn't just marketing hyperbole. The 510's suspension geometry, weight distribution, and steering precision provided the kind of responsive, communicative driving experience that was typically reserved for expensive European imports. What transformed the 510 from merely a good economy car into an automotive legend was its unprecedented racing success against supposedly superior competition. With professional driver John Morton behind the wheel, the Datsun BRE-510 achieved what many considered impossible: back-to-back SCCA Trans Am 2.5-liter championships in 1971 and 1972. This wasn't just a victory, it was a seismic upset that reverberated throughout the automotive world. A relatively inexpensive Japanese economy car was consistently outperforming much more expensive, pedigreed European and American competition on the most demanding racing circuits in the country. The David versus Goliath narrative was irresistible, but the underlying reality was even more significant. Number 3. Mazda RX-3, 1970 to 1978. Before the RX-7 became internationally famous and established Mazda's reputation for rotary-powered sports cars, there was the RX-3, the crucial developmental stepping stone that introduced the revolutionary Wankel rotary engine to global automotive markets and proved that unconventional engineering could deliver exceptional results. Weighing just 1,949 pounds in its lightest configuration, the RX-3 was a lightweight automotive fighter that absolutely demanded to be driven with enthusiasm and commitment. This wasn't a car that rewarded casual driving or passive operation. It came alive only when pushed hard and driven with the kind of mechanical sympathy that its unique power plant required. The RX-3 represents something almost entirely absent from modern automotive development: genuine engineering experimentation backed by corporate commitment. While virtually every other manufacturer abandoned Wankel rotary engine development due to legitimate concerns about fuel efficiency and emissions compliance, Mazda made the unconventional and ultimately passionate decision to double down on the technology. This wasn't a safe corporate choice based on market research and focus group validation. It was a creative gamble that required significant engineering resources and manufacturing expertise to execute properly. The rotary engine's unique operating characteristics demanded specialized knowledge, different manufacturing techniques, and distinct service procedures that set Mazda apart from every other manufacturer. Number 2. Mazda RX-7, 1978 to 1985. The first-generation RX-7 stands as perhaps the purest example of no-compromise sports car philosophy ever to reach mass production. This was a machine that rejected virtually every piece of conventional automotive wisdom and succeeded brilliantly by following its own uncompromising engineering path. The RX-7's fundamental brilliance centered on its unique Wankel rotary engine, a power plant that operated on completely different principles than traditional piston engines. The rotary's inherently fewer moving parts resulted in significantly lighter weight, more compact packaging, and a distinctively smooth high-revving power delivery that conventional engines simply could not replicate. The rotary engine's remarkably compact dimensions enabled a revolutionary packaging breakthrough that would have been impossible with traditional piston engines. By mounting the lightweight power plant just behind the front axle centerline, Mazda achieved a near-perfect 50-50 front-to-rear weight distribution, combined with an extremely low center of gravity that fundamentally transformed the car's handling characteristics. This weight distribution created handling dynamics that automotive journalists universally praised as nimble, balanced, and superb. The RX-7 could change direction with an immediacy and precision that larger, heavier sports cars couldn't match, while maintaining stability and predictability that inspired confidence rather than requiring constant vigilance. Mazda's engineers pursued weight reduction with an almost obsessive attention to detail that perfectly exemplifies 70s Japanese engineering philosophy. They drilled material out of aluminum brake and clutch pedals, shortened spark plug wire lengths to eliminate unnecessary weight, and scrutinized every component to determine if it could be lightened without compromising functionality or durability. Number 1. Datsun 240Z, 1970 to 1973. Taking our number 1 position is the car that arguably changed everything about how Americans view Japanese automotive engineering and established the template for affordable sports car excellence that manufacturers still chase today. The Datsun 240Z holds the distinguished and historically significant title of being America's first truly successful Japanese sports car, selling over 150,000 units during its initial production run and creating an instant, devoted cult following that persists to this day. The 240Z's remarkable success resulted from the brilliant design philosophy and market vision of Nissan USA President Yutaka Katayama, respectfully known throughout the automotive industry as Mr. K. His revolutionary concept was deceptively simple but extraordinarily difficult to execute. Create a sports car that could visually compete with the stunning Jaguar E-Type, while offering the performance capabilities and handling precision of much more expensive European competitors, all at a price point that ordinary American enthusiasts could actually afford. The resulting design, featuring the classic long hood, short deck, and gracefully sloping roofline proportions, was both timelessly elegant and aerodynamically efficient. The 240Z's visual impact was immediate and lasting. It looked like it belonged in the same conversation as the world's most beautiful sports cars, but without the intimidating price tags that made those European exotics financially inaccessible to most buyers. Beneath the stunning bodywork lay engineering excellence that fully supported the car's visual promises. The heart was a sophisticated 2.4-liter inline-six engine, producing a robust 151 horsepower, substantial power for the era that translated into genuinely brisk acceleration and strong highway performance. This engine was supported by equally impressive chassis engineering, including sophisticated four-wheel independent suspension and modern rack and pinion steering that provided the kind of precise, responsive handling that European sports cars were famous for. Weighing just over 2,200 pounds, the 240Z delivered what automotive journalists described as brisk performance, combined with a great handling package that was simply unprecedented at its price point. The power-to-weight ratio and suspension sophistication created driving dynamics that could genuinely compete with cars costing twice as much. But what truly distinguishes the 240Z and exposes the fundamental inadequacies of modern automotive development is its utterly analog and visceral driving experience that creates an unfiltered connection between driver and machine. The unassisted steering and brake systems require firm, deliberate inputs from the driver, but they provide continuous floods of detailed feedback about road conditions, tire adhesion levels, and chassis behavior that modern power-assisted systems completely eliminate. These 12 cars prove that engineering brilliance comes from elegant simplicity, not needless complexity. Now that you understand what real automotive excellence looks like, you'll want to enhance whatever you're driving. Check out my video 17 modifications that are actually worth it to discover which upgrades truly improve performance versus expensive marketing gimmicks.